50 Cent.
It's a bankruptcy story too, and I am a former bankruptcy attorney. So
once upon a time, 50 Cent was one of the biggest rappers in the world.
You could find him in the club.
You could find him in the club.
Yeah.
One of the biggest rappers in the world, was worth tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, I think even approaching 9 figures.
Yeah, even approaching 9 figures
at
a point. Proceeded to make some really poor investments, including into a clothing line, which he claims lost $40-something million.
Some of the investments were in himself, like Kanye.
Yeah.
He started companies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of G-Unit brands.
Yeah.
He was big G-Unit
And
guy.
he filed legal docs in his bankruptcy proceedings saying that I think he had lost $41 million.
Lost a bunch of money.
Yeah.
He lost his equity holdings were down. He had loaned money to the companies and was very, very far down.
So 50 or Fiddy, as the kids called him once upon a time.
The kids do call it.
They call him 50 now.
You should probably call him Curtis.
So 50 declares bankruptcy, but over the last few months, he's really made a sort of a big issue about the fact that he still has money.
He has a
He's
big
rich
Instagram
people broke,
presence.
and so he's been carrying around these wads and wads of cash. And we did the story a couple weeks ago that he was seen with all of this money, and when the bankruptcy creditors sort of said, "Hey, what's this? He hasn't declared this money as part of the bankruptcy estate. What's going on? Where he still has all this cash?"
He had stacks of cash and would do Instagram posts spelling out the word broke with stacks and stacks of hundreds. Now,
I feel I jumped ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
This is fascinating because when you go to bankruptcy court, you have to throw yourself at the mercy of the court and be perfectly honest. What you're asking is, forgive some of my loans, and in exchange for that, you are held to the highest standard of honesty. You have to tell them everything you own down to your shower curtains and say, everything that I own could be something that my creditors collect to make some of their money back. You may not be able to pay them in full, but you have to tell them everything.
So what happens when you declare bankruptcy? You owe money to the bank for your house. You owe money to the people that you lease your car from.
Big mortgages,
credit cards. All those people will line up.
That's right.
And then your assets, to one extent or another, are going to be liquidated, and those creditors are going to be paid back a percentage of what they owe.
Pennies on the dollar.
Pennies on the dollar. So it's important that the debtor disclose everything they have so the creditors can be made as whole as possible.
That's right. Now, there's some money you can live on. It's not like you have to sort of empty out every quarter, but you need to disclose what your income is. You need to disclose what your assets are.
And when 50 Cent disclosed this, he said he disclosed all the cash he had, which did not compute with his photos of him with these bundles and bundles of cash, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And the creditors get angry.
And the creditors
they run to court and they say, what is the deal with all this money? And then you know who else gets angry? The bankruptcy judge.
Yeah.
Because you're making a mockery of this process, which is actually very helpful. We don't have debtor colonies here. We have a bankruptcy process. You get a fresh start.
And so it's come out recently that not only did he show photos of all this cash, he also showed photos of a luxurious estate in Africa.
That's serious.
And that could be worth, a lot of money. And real estate is one of those places that bankruptcy debtors will hide at.
And the creditors lick their chops.
Especially in a foreign country, one like in Africa, where it's maybe more difficult to sort of pursue it. If you're going to do it in London, we're going to have a little bit of process where we can get that back.
Sure, you can have a homestead. There's certain exemptions that the creditors don't get, but he is showing off a lot of wealth, and it's a problem. So what did he say?
Fiddy said, "Not so fast, my friends." Just to paraphrase.
This is very creative to me.
He says, "This is just a persona. I don't have these stacks of cash. It's really
paper money. It's monopoly money.
What do you call it? Punk money, pimp money?
I call it monopoly money. What do you call
monopoly
it?
money. I forget what he says, but it's
fake.
It's fake movie money, prop money. That's what I meant.
Oh, prop money, okay.
It's prop money. And this house in Africa is just a house in Africa. I don't own it. I've never owned, I do not now, or nor have I ever owned any houses in Africa. And so leave this alone. This is just the persona this is my 50 Cent persona.
Is this more damaging, though, than anything else? Now he's had to go to court in a filing and say, I don't actually have real stacks of cash. I'm a fraud. I think he should have just stopped, let this process wind its way through, adopted a different persona for the time being, and then
So not only has he lost all of his money,
he loses all his credit.
Not only is he at risk of a court issuing some sort of devastating order against him because the court doesn't believe that he doesn't have this stuff, he has also lost his street cred.
He lost a lot of credit.
Because he's broke as a joke. He's got nothing.
It's the only card he could play. I mean, or else you can get in real big trouble. Lenny Dykstra got in very big bankruptcy trouble when you lie to the court. Yeah. You have golden toilets that you're hiding away.
Derek made a living off people who defrauded the bankruptcy court.
There are very rich debtors. This is not unique that 50 Cent filed bankruptcy. Donald Trump has put several of his entities, we've heard this in the political campaign, into bankruptcy. He hasn't personally filed. You can go into bankruptcy pretty flush and pay fancy lawyers. Yeah. But you better be honest.
Yeah, he was one of those fancy lawyers once upon a time.
Used to be. I used to wear ties and everything. Yeah.